button on YouTube because we're getting started on this YouTube certified channel review for Emily the Ginger, who is a vlogger on YouTube. I've got advice for any of you out there. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever recorded footage and not used it? Have you ever been affected by a negative comment and it held you back from reaching your performance? Have you ever been nervous about testing out a new piece of content and you just didn't because you were afraid of what it might do to your channel? You were afraid of what people might think about you. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever been afraid to go onto a new platform because you don't understand it? If any of you guys have ever felt insecure about content creation, if you've ever felt insecure about taking the leap on any element of your strategy or your online business, this channel review is for you. And Emily the Ginger is a creator that kind of focuses, maybe whether they realize it or not, on insecurity through their content, and is actually somewhat insecure themselves about their own content strategy, having thrown away 60% of their videos and never releasing it, for example. I'm going to talk about how you can get over that mental block that's holding you back from being successful. Also, as a part of any strategy on a channel where somebody's doing vlogging content or doing in real life on camera content, one of the most important things there is understanding how many videos per week should you be releasing? Is there an impact on the YouTube algorithm with releasing one video a week versus multiple videos per week? And does the YouTube algorithm care which days of the week you're releasing your content on? We're going to answer all of those questions today in this channel review. Zypher, Nate Robbins, great to see you guys in chat as well. So this is going to be a mind-bending channel review where I'm going to be giving you guys all new information about how to overcome insecurity, how to have confidence in content creation, and how to understand the algorithm with how often you should post your content. Let's freaking go. Thank you very much, before we get started, to Emily for becoming my $25 patron and getting this channel review along the way, and to one of my other patrons for recommending. This is the Family Bovine actually recommended this creator come join me to get this channel review. So let's talk about Emily the Ginger. Just to give you a better idea of what this content is all about and what this creator is all about, I'm just going to play a clip so you guys can see it. Let's just watch a clip of her content so you can get a sense of this vlogger and what she's all about and what her vibe is.
Hey guys, what's up? So today in Oklahoma, we ended an age of prohibition. No, we didn't. Today was the end of an end of an era which sucked everywhere else in the world. I don't know that for a fact, so don't fact check me there. Most places in the world, you can buy full point beer at grocery stores. And wine. Not here. No. Before today, drinking beer or wine in Oklahoma was a chore. It was a task. You had to plan it days in advance. You had to plan it out weeks ahead of time. You had to mark it on your calendar from 1981. Starting today, Oklahomans can get full point beer, full point American beer, which I like. I like beer.
All right, so as you guys can see, Emily is funny, Emily is relatable, Emily is really honest, and in this case she's talking about how Oklahoma is dumb. Juicy Poops is saying in chat, Oklahoma is dumb, so you guys can relate. So she's got this really comfortable on-camera vibe, as you guys can see here. It feels really good to watch her content because despite the fact that a lot of her content is about, despite the fact that she feels insecure about creating content on the internet, and a lot of her content is about awkwardness, she feels so comfortable and so natural when you watch her on camera, which is one of the interesting things about this channel review. So this is the vibe, right? And so this is the type of content that is being released on the channel, and this is the personality we're going to be talking about. But I want to give you some insights on Emily that you may not know, and I don't know if she didn't specifically say I could share this. This isn't, insane details about her, but I want to share this with all of you because I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this. Emily doesn't necessarily have the confidence she needs to follow through on a consistent upload schedule, despite how natural she is as a vlogger and the fact that she has this natural talent. You guys can see it here. Like, you guys can tell. A lot of you guys are creators, and having a natural charisma, I don't even have to have the audio on. You see that smile and you see how well she's able to connect with the camera. It's just a natural talent, but she hasn't yet realized that she has that. And so when she's when she's creating content, does this sound relatable to you? That maybe you'll create content and you feel like it might be a bit on the boring side, and you might be afraid that audiences won't be interested in your content, and so you just don't make it or you don't release it? Have any of you guys ever done that? Because this creator has. I know I have. I have dozens of videos I haven't released because I thought people would think it's boring and I didn't put it out there, that I actually regret not releasing, because ultimately your audience will let you know if they don't like something and if they're not interested in something. And if they're not interested in something, it doesn't really matter. Just move on to the next thing. And on this channel, she has only posted 10 videos on the channel, but there's actually 6 or 7 videos that she threw in the garbage. Including footage of, I'm not going to reveal where you went exactly, but footage of an incredible vacation and a trip that she went on that she didn't even release. This is like golden content that she could be releasing on her channel moving forward. And so there is a confidence issue here, a confidence challenge, an insecurity challenge with this creator, despite the fact that, as you guys can see with no audio here, she's such a natural. She has such charisma. She just has the talent naturally. So let's talk about what we need to do to help Emily overcome that insecurity. And hopefully all of you guys can get something out of this, because there's a lot of tactics you can use and a lot of mindset that you can use to overcome that insecurity and to really understand your value. And the question from Juicy Poops, which your name is so ridiculous, Juicy Poops, is what do I think about jump cuts every other second? So this is something that a lot of vloggers use as an editing technique on their channel. And the reason why they use jump cuts, most vloggers use jump cuts, is because it increases audience retention. And so the fact that YouTube is controlled by a machine learning algorithm throughout her content, and anybody's content, as you're watching, that audience retention is going to decline over time. And when you look at timelines that have jump cuts, this curve is going to be less severe if you have jump cuts versus not. If you didn't have jump cuts, people are going to drop off much earlier in your vlogging content. Whereas if you do have jump cuts, people are going to stick around for longer because you're cutting the fluff. And honestly, to entertain people on camera with just your face and just what you're saying the entire time is actually extremely difficult, and people's patience is relatively low. A lot of people watch vlogging content, even watch my on-camera content at ×2 speed, 1.5 times speed, because they want to consume content quickly and in mass. So this is something I don't have an issue with. I actually encourage jump cuts with vlogging simply because the machine learning algorithm is going to reward high retention content, and it is going to punish low retention content. And jump cuts, let's face it, increases retention, not decreases retention. That is my opinion on the situation. I think that's just an algorithmic fact. So let's talk a bit more about this channel. So 10 videos have been released on Emily the Ginger's channel, and a lot of these videos revolve around cringy stories, or my first YouTube video finally. There's also an eyebrow fiasco here. And this one's about awkwardness. So as you guys can see, there's a trend here of insecurity in the subject matter of this content. And I actually think, interestingly enough, this creator struggles with insecurity. And I actually think that this should be the central theme of Emily the Ginger's content moving forward, because when you are a vlogger and when you are an on-camera personality, your content strategy should be based around your truth. And your truth, everything should be rooted in your truth as a creator. And so if you are too insecure, Emily, to put yourself out there enough to find your niche on YouTube, then you've already found your niche on YouTube. overcoming insecurity is now your niche on YouTube. That is who you are. That is what your content is already all about. And that is your truth as a creator. So embrace that.
Hi guys, what's up?
You're too insecure about yourself to put yourself out there. You're wondering what your niche is. You already found it. Overcoming insecurity is your niche. Okay, with that in mind, let's move forward. Let's take a look at the statistics. Oops, I was playing a little bit of a clip in the background. Sorry about that audio. This is a newer channel. It is very, very much growing. So right now, this channel is currently getting 1,300 views per month and 10 subscribers per month. And this is due to the insecurity, I guess, not posting a consistent amount of content and not necessarily knowing what value Emily the Ginger should be focusing on with her content. So that's what I'm here to help with, okay? And I'm gonna keep playing some clips of her in the background so you guys can see what I'm talking about with how much of a natural she is on camera. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. But even with no audio, I feel like there's a natural charisma, a natural presence here, and a natural relatability, which is something that so many people don't go on camera because they're insecure about. So many people don't go on camera because they feel that they need to train themselves on how to be on camera before they do it. And I feel like already in the first 10 videos here, she's already got it. So the overarching theme here, the overarching thinking here for this creator, I think, is a successful personality-based channel based on vlogging content and based on your truth as a person and as a personality. And your truth is that you are an insecure person trying to create content on the internet. That is your core as a creator. So let's move forward. So being insecure and making content about being insecure, that sounds like that could be totally unbearable to watch, right? So why would people want to watch that content? Here's why. They would want to watch that content because it has 3 primary values that people are going to be interested in checking out. Primary value number 1 is that you are going to be unique. And so that is, we can check that box off. And a lot of vloggers already have that. And what's unique about you is you're taking on insecurity on the internet directly, and it'll be especially unique within your demographic that you're going to appeal to. You're going to appeal to the late 20s and early 30s millennial, the elder millennial, that wish they had the balls to run a content strategy on the internet, but won't take the first steps to do it. And so I think that that is a unique appeal that you're going to have. And so coming from a late millennial or you're like a mid-late millennial, I think, on the internet perspective, you can bring, that actually gives you a unique demographic and a unique perspective on what's happening on the internet. You are actually rare to be a late millennial and to be releasing content on YouTube. Most late millennials are not actually watching content on YouTube. They're still watching content on TV. That's people that are my friends, like people that are 34 plus. They don't even know about YouTube and that it's a legitimate content platform. They've seen a couple videos there. So I think that that can be something interesting for you to do with unique content is by reacting to videos on YouTube, reacting to things that are happening on the internet from a late millennial's perspective, including trending stuff. And that unique perspective is going to help you punch through and get those views. Now, how old is a late millennial? You're looking at somebody who's like 30 plus, like you're looking at late 20s, early mid 30s, late 20s, mid 30s, that range. People my age, basically. Like I'm an elder millennial, like I have kids and I'm married and stuff. So 34 is definitely a late millennial. I'd say 30 is right there in the center of late millennial as an age range. And there's a major cultural gap between early millennials and late millennials. So early millennials grew up with the internet and they are watching Twitch, they're watching Mixer, they're on Snapchat, they're watching YouTube on a daily basis. They wouldn't dream of watching TV. They wouldn't dream of reading a magazine or anything like that or consuming old media. People that are in their mid-30s, they still have a subscription to TV. They don't watch YouTube. They're definitely not on Snapchat. And their interactions with the internet are primarily around websites and blogs and Facebook. And occasionally they're on Instagram probably. And they definitely consume the crap out of podcasts. So there's a major cultural divide here and a technological divide between early millennials and late millennials. And that's an opportunity for this creator, Emily the Ginger, to bridge that gap, because I think she's right in the middle of early millennial and late millennial. And she can translate that early millennial internet world to late millennials. And that is a huge, unique value that this vlogger can bring to the table. Okay? And so let's talk about the next step. Challenge is the next value that you can bring to the table, and that a lot of creators need to think about bringing to the table. People love watching challenge content. People love watching people overcome adversity. And so I think your content should be all about overcoming adversity in your journey, because that is what you're doing right now. That's why you've contacted me. That's why I'm even doing this channel review right now, is because you are struggling to overcome adversity. You became my patron because you're struggling to overcome insecurity. And so that's what your content should be about, because that's what your life is really about right now. And so challenge content on your channel could be a huge hit. I'm talking about making videos about dealing with negative comments, maybe even reacting to negative comments on your channel and talking about how that made you feel. Also, I think that you could talk about your relationship struggles potentially. You could talk about career struggles. And interestingly, you can try to learn stuff that younger millennials know about that older millennials have no idea even exists. And I'm talking, and you've already kind of tested this sort of strategy on your channel by making this Emily Plays Fortnite video. People that are over the age of 30 and certainly are in their mid-30s wouldn't dream of even playing Fortnite, but they know it exists. They've read about it, they see crap on the internet about it, but it's not even in their universe. Having somebody like you play a game like this and explain what it's all about and bring that window to late millennials into what Fortnite is, what it's all about, and like trends like this that younger millennials are doing, is a huge opportunity for you to grow and to be the translator of young millennial stuff to older millennial stuff. So this is a huge thing, and this could be like a challenge video, like I learn how to play Fortnite, or I learn how to do this trending dance, or I learn how to use Snapchat, or I learn how to do all these different things that older millennials struggle with. You can struggle through it yourself, and then that can be really, really interesting content for older millennials to enjoy. But wait, there's more. I have so much fire advice to give you. There's so much more. There's also a learning value that you can be providing all of your audience on the way. So not only do you have unique value, you're going to have challenge value, and you can also bring learning value to the table through your content by teaching people about these new things, about these early millennial culture. You can translate these things called the memes to late millennials. You understand this stuff because you're young enough to. So you could translate things like memes, trends, what have you, and you can teach people about that stuff. And you can also teach people about your struggles, of course, of overcoming insecurity along the way, and what has worked for you and what has not along the way, to teach people how to do that and how to overcome their fear of creating content on the internet. Because let's face it, moving forward, and you guys might think this is crazy, but moving forward, if you are not creating content on the internet, I'm talking about everybody right now that's like 35 or younger. If you're not creating content on the internet, if you're not building your online profile, if you're not building awareness of your personal brand on the internet, you are going to be unable to get a job in the future. Like sending resumes and cover letters and things like that to get a job in the future, that is yesterday's news, amigos. I'm talking about 20 years from now when you're trying to get a job. That's not going to be the way it works. People are just going to search for you on the internet. They're going to see what they see, and they're going to make a decision about whether to hire you. The internet, your presence on the internet, the content you release on the internet, how big you are on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Mixer, on Twitch, is going to drastically influence your ability to get a job in the future and to be relevant, to be able to make money in the future. This is not just going to become an add-on to your life. This isn't going to just be a side hustle in your life. And late millennials are going to face these problems, and they don't have the balls and they don't even have the understanding to know that the internet is not just going to be something that's big, it's going to be everything. Your presence on the internet will literally be your everything. It will be your reputation. It's going to replace things like cover letters and resumes and what have you. And people are just going to look at your LinkedIn profile and decide whether to hire you. And if you don't have videos on your LinkedIn profile, if you don't have a fully built out profile that's gorgeous, if you haven't written articles there, if you don't have recommendations on your LinkedIn, then why would anybody hire you? You're out. And the next candidate that has original content, for example, on their LinkedIn profile, gets the job. That's the future. So, the point of me saying that is late millennials could really benefit from somebody like you who's teaching them about how to overcome their insecurity through your content. And this could be something that could be extremely valuable and could carry your content slate into the long run. And the phone is ringing in this house. Speaking of old technology, here's an actual phone. This is an actual phone. Wow. Like, did you know that these used to exist? This is a phone, and it has numbers on the front. Like, you don't touch this part of the screen. You actually hit numbers on this phone, and it's like your phone that you have, but it doesn't have any apps or anything, and blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, enough about this phone. So, let's talk about your demographics that you're going to have when you're creating this content strategy and this content slate. Oh yeah, also one other thing that you can teach people is a digital hustle. So what I talked about a moment ago, like right now, creating content on the internet is a side hustle because people don't understand it. What is going to happen in the future, and one thing that you can teach people through your content, Emily, moving forward, is that digital hustle is going to be all of the hustle moving forward. It is going to be the complete hustle in the future. And it's becoming that more and more. So you guys paying attention to these streams right now, trying to learn how to grow on YouTube. Right now, people are like, oh, you have that internet side hustle. Nice job. In the future, internet side hustle is the entire hustle. And so you teaching your audience about how digital hustle works so that late millennials can understand this is going to be critical understanding and life skills that late millennials will need, that late millennials are not currently getting because they're just a little bit too old. They still think TV matters and stuff. So they still have phones. Okay? Cool. So that's another value that you can bring and these elder millennials. So let me talk about your demographics and just, there's a Netflix special on that's right now called Elder Millennial. It's a very popular one by Eliza Schlesinger. Check it out. I'll link it right here. You feel so old. You are old. I don't know how old you are. 80s retro, you feel so old. So there's a comedy special on Netflix about this right now. This is a cultural phenomenon. I'm not just making this up, of the elder millennial, because there's such a gap between the elder millennial and younger millennials culturally and technologically in terms of their understanding. I wanted to link that to you. Emily the Ginger and anybody else who wants to understand this cultural gap. This is something that you can continue to harp on. And your demographics, Emily, are going to be late millennials, late 20s to early 30s. You're probably going to end up attracting 80% female audience on your channel and about 20% male audience. But as somebody who's insecure, I need to give you the heads up, and you probably already know this. The 20% male audience that you are going to end up attracting with this content strategy that I'm suggesting, 10% of your audience, that is males, are going to be following you because they think that you're cute or you're hot. And just be ready for that. And you're going to have some creepy dudes messaging you and trying to get up in your DMs and what have you. That's just going to be a part of the game. So just prepare yourself for that mentally. And that's going to make for golden content for you to release on your channel. Then there's going to be another 10% of your audience that's going to be males that is actually interested in the value that you're providing through your content. So get ready for 10% of your audience to be men that are following you because they want to get up in on your DMs. Okay? So that's something that you need to be prepared for. There you go. Juicy Poops is typing in chat, show Bobs. Exactly. Case in point. Where are you? Thank you for that, Juicy Poops. I know that you were just joking, but that's exactly right. Alrighty then. So let's continue this. So this is a great demographic to target. The elder millennial demographic is an amazing demographic to target because elder millennials like me have careers. We have jobs. We have unique skills. And most importantly, we have money. And we have money to spend. We're not young and poor anymore. We've spent 10 years in the workforce, what have you, and we now have money. And so this is excellent for you to target the elder millennial, the late millennial, because they will support you, Emily, on Patreon. They will buy your merchandise. I'm suggesting revenue streams for you to be thinking about. Patreon. They will buy your merchandise. They will follow your affiliate marketing deals, and sponsors are going to want to advertise on your content because you have a late millennial audience, because late millennials have purchasing power. They're just getting married. We're just having kids. We have legitimate careers. We're managers now, senior managers, becoming VPs and what have you. We're buying cars, we're buying houses, and we're spending money. And so late millennials is a fantastic demographic to have. You can have a relatively small audience of late millennials and make a ton of money, because this is actually the most juicy and the most sought after demographic right now to capture for sponsors. You ever listen to a podcast and have it, advertise Blue Apron or Peloton bikes or any number of these like somewhat premium products? The person they're trying to target isn't the young millennial with that product. They're trying to target the late millennial, because late millennials actually have enough money to afford all of those products and to afford those luxuries. You will be tapping in on that market, and I think that that is a huge opportunity for you to be even a relatively small creator and personality and still make a decent amount of money because your audience is so valuable. But wait, there's more. Emily the Ginger, there's more. We need to talk about your social media strategy, okay? We need to have a serious talk here, Emily. And right now, you know how many socials I see up here on your banner? And I searched and I couldn't find you on other avenues. Maybe I missed you. So where is your social strategy? Where is your off YouTube strategy? I know that you're trying to deal with insecurity. I know that you are struggling even just to do a YouTube channel. But you've got to have some sort of off YouTube strategy as well. No one should be running a single platform game on the internet. Where are the socials? Well, luckily for you, I've got some suggestions that are not going to be too hardcore. And I've got a model for you to follow, which you might not be expecting. So why would I suggest to a younger or to a female vlogger who's not a gamer and is talking about stuff that normies talk about, like Harry Potter and mainstream stuff, why would I be telling you now to look at Boogie2988? So I'm going to link Boogie2988 right here in chat. If you guys are not already familiar with Boogie, I'm also going to link Boogie's Instagram. This is somebody that I would like you and everybody to take notice of. If any of you guys are insecure with yourselves or insecure with making content, and you've ever deleted a video, you've ever been, you've ever tried to overcome adversity, you've ever tried to do a lot of the things that Emily the Ginger is trying to do, Boogie2988 is a fantastic YouTuber capitalizing on this, same value that you're trying to capitalize on, and he's made it. He's got 4.5 million subscribers. And so remember earlier the value that we talked about? You're going to be bringing unique value, challenge value, and learning value to your audience. Boogie2988 is a master of all three of those values. In his content, he teaches you about what's going on in the world today through his news content and what have you. He's got challenge content because he's been overcoming his fears. He's constantly talking about that. And also he's been overcoming weight loss. And also he's got extremely unique content. He's got this Francis character that he does. You guys are probably familiar with Francis with his hilarious reactions of fat gaming guy reacting to things and overreacting to things. Francis is a classic internet character that's gotten tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of views on the internet. Boogie2988 is an example, and I think in some ways your counterpart, Emily, for you to look at. Boogie2988 is a channel and is a personality that is focusing on mid to late millennials, but the male side of mid to late millennials. You want to be the female counterpart, if you will, to that, appealing to female late millennials. So people that follow Francis are into gaming, they're into internet culture, but they're a little bit older. They're going to be in their late 20s to early 30s, because Francis, this character, became popular in the early days of YouTube back when World of Warcraft was starting to take off, and that's for those mid-20s people that were really in mid-20s, early 30s people that were really into World of Warcraft when it came out. So take a look at Boogie2988's strategy, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is look at how he brings unique value through things like Francis content, how he's bringing challenge value through things like overcoming his fears and weight loss, and how he talks about insecurity constantly on his channel. He's so honest about it. He's so natural on camera, and really just consume a bunch of his content. And he also reacts to relevant topics on the internet and what have you from his perspective. And I feel like, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but there could be women's issues you could be talking about. And he talks about weight issues, right? When those come up, maybe women's issues would be something that you'd want to talk about. I don't know. I'm just bringing that up as an example, right? So this is an opportunity for you to be the female version, if you will, of Francis, Boogie2988, through your vlogging content, Emily the Ginger. I feel like it's a big, big opportunity for you. But Boogie is not a one-platform guy. Nobody should be a one-platform guy. And he has lost a ton of weight. I think he's lost like over 150 pounds. He's on Twitch. He's on Facebook, he's on Twitter, and also he is running an Instagram strategy. So I think your next step to appeal to the female late millennial is to run an Instagram strategy, Emily the Ginger. And run an Instagram strategy similar to what Boogie2988 is running. It's a very simple strategy. All he's doing on Instagram, and he's currently getting 4,000, 2,000, 1,000 likes, etc. on his posts. It's just slice of life content of Boogie, okay? It's just slice of life content. That's all it is. And that's what you need to do, Emily. You are so charismatic. You are so relatable. You have interests that mid to late millennials are going to be into. And so take a slice of life photos of your life and post them on Instagram to give that extra relatability to yourself as a vlogger. Once you start getting hundreds of likes on that content, which will happen quickly because you are charismatic, because you're photogenic, and because you're such a natural, once you start getting hundreds of likes on your Instagram account, this is the only social platform I'm recommending you go to right now, just as a first step, you can start getting sponsorships on your content because you will have a late millennial audience. And if you're only getting hundreds of likes, let's say 200 to 300 likes per post on Instagram, you can be making hundreds of dollars per post in sponsorships. If you're getting thousands of likes per post on Instagram with this audience, you can be making thousands of dollars per post on Instagram. So there is a huge social media opportunity for you to hit Instagram, okay? So that's the only social platform I think you should tackle at first. Go to Instagram, look at Boogie2988's strategy. He's not getting political here necessarily. He's not talking weight loss. He's not getting heavy with the topics, okay? It's just slice of life of what he likes, his dog, his stuff he likes, Halloween, whatever, okay? Slice of life. Instagram content is your strategy for social media. But wait, there's more. I don't think that you should be on Twitter, Snapchat, Reddit, Twitch, or Mixer to start with as your next step. Not only because you're insecure about yourself and taking on new steps, I know that you're going to have a limited amount of time, but late millennial females are not on Twitter en masse, on Snapchat en masse, on Reddit en masse, or Twitch or Mixer en masse. Late millennial females, elder millennial females. Hey, Darsizzle Offshore, it's good to see you. Congrats on the channel, Ginger. You went Darsizzle Offshore, an incredible vlogger and angler. I would say Darsizzle Offshore. No, I don't think it's a estimation. I think it's true. Darcizzle Offshore is the #1 angler, female angler on YouTube. Hype for Darcizzle in chat. Anyway, Darcizzle's another one of my patrons if you want to know why I'm shouting around. Anyway, I don't think that you need to be on Twitter, Snapchat, Reddit, Twitch, or Mixer right now because elder millennial females are primarily consuming content on blogs, on Instagram, and on podcasts. So that's another thing that I want to talk with you about. I'm not saying that they're not on Twitter, Snapchat, Reddit, Twitch, and Mixer. They are there. But I think that you should focus on Instagram and podcasts as an expansion point. So I've never really talked about podcasts that much right now, but I've become a bit of an expert on podcasts recently. And I would like you, Emily, to consider a podcast if you're trying to capture this audience. You are such a natural, and I feel like you could ramble about all kinds of topics, and you have a very appealing voice. You could ramble about a lot of topics through a podcast, and podcasts are relatively easy to produce. And so, what I'm going to tell you, and we can take this into the DMs after this to talk details, but there is a platform called Libsyn that anyone can use to distribute a podcast today. I'm currently distributing the podcast here from one of my clients. And Libsyn allows you to distribute to all major podcast platforms through one dashboard. So through Libsyn, you can distribute to, I'm trying to show my destinations here. Here we go. You can distribute simultaneously by uploading once into this platform. You can distribute that same podcast in the click of a button to Google Play. You can distribute it to SoundCloud. You can distribute it to Spotify. It'll also have a location here in Libsyn, and it'll go on iTunes, and it'll go on Stitcher as well. So you can be on all 5 major podcasting platforms with one dashboard here with Libsyn. And so I think podcasting could be an interesting direction for you to go in, and it could be a way for you to capture that late millennial audience through a podcast. And I just feel like it would fit your personality, and you would be able to talk about these topics more in depth with a blend of your insecurity and challenge content and general appeal trending content. So Gluten Slayer saying, what about Pinterest? Yes, Pinterest is definitely an option. That would be the 3rd platform after Instagram and podcasts. The reason why I'm not suggesting Pinterest right now is that there is not a direct monetization path with Pinterest. For people that are trying to appeal to late millennials, it is way more difficult to do that through Pinterest. Through YouTube, obviously you've got all the built-in YouTube monetization methods. Through Instagram, sponsorships are relatively easy to secure. Through podcasts, sponsorships are relatively easy to secure. Through Pinterest, you can capture audience, but the path to monetization is more difficult. And the reason why I'm suggesting the platforms that have an easier path to monetization and making money for you, it's because I assume you have a full-time job. This is just your side hustle, and I want to get as much money in your pocket as quickly as possible so that you could potentially go full-time with this. You thought Pinterest was dead? Pinterest is so not dead. All the ladies are on Pinterest, amigos. Okay? Pinterest has hundreds of millions of users. Primarily female audience there. Do not write off Pinterest if you're trying to appeal to that audience, but I would say that would be a next step after an Instagram and podcast expansion. Great suggestion, Gluten Slayer, not Guten Slayer, Gluten Slayer, with that one. So there you go. You have YouTube, expand into slice of life content with Instagram, and then do maybe a once a week podcast and distribute it through Libsyn. And that will get you on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Spotify in the click of a button. And a subscription to this platform is only like $14.99 a month. I'm sure that you can afford it. Your pillows on your bed here look luxury. Okay, sell one of those pillows in consignment for a monthly subscription in Libsyn. All right, it's not that expensive, right? $14.99 a month or so is affordable. And you could probably afford it. You probably have a job, I'm guessing. Great. So let's talk about tactical stuff for your channel. So I'm talking all this strategy level stuff. How can a vlogger succeed? How can she break in? What platform should she be in? But what about the tactical YouTube-y stuff? What should you be putting in your thumbnails and your titles since it's so critical to succeeding on YouTube? It's very, very simple, my friend. I shouldn't say amigo, amiga. And I think your thumbnails should be extremely, extremely simple. And here's what they should be. Here's your thumbnail composition that you should do. This is the basic thumbnail composition. Are you ready? Are you ready to be a successful vlogger? Here's your thumbnail composition. Are you ready? This is your thumbnail right here. All right. You're going to split this thumbnail into 2 parts. Your thumbnail right here, you got 2 parts here. All right. Part A is you. Let me draw you over here. Are you ready? Seriously, this is you. Hi, I'm Emily the Ginger. Obviously, you're not going to show your entire body, probably. This is you reacting to something. Here, let me give you some red hair. Here's your ginger hair. There you go. This is you reacting to something on the right side of the thumbnail. Are you ready? What should you put on the left side of the thumbnail? X. And what does X represent? Something popular, or something with general appeal, or something with that's generally appealing to larger audiences. That's it. You reacting to something generally appealing on the other side of the thumbnail. So what do I mean? So that general appeal could be a general topic of bullying on the internet, or dealing with negative comments, or it could be WTF is Fortnite, or what's up with this Logan Paul controversy, or talking about the Me Too movement, or talking about the latest Harry Potter book that's coming up. It's you with a reaction to a general appeal item on the left. That should be your thumbnail, that should be your title, and that should be your content strategy moving forward. And the value you provide through that content is what we talked about earlier. You're gonna have unique, learning, and challenge content along the way. Those are the 3 values you'll be communicating through these thumbnails and through these titles and through your content. So what is this? This is a basic thumbnail composition that all of you guys can use to win on the internet. Emotional appeal on the right-hand side of the thumbnail. You guys can't see that letter E. Let me try that again. On the right-hand side of the thumbnail is your emotional appeal. Right here, we'll put an E to represent emotional appeal. And on the left-hand side of the thumbnail is the trending general appeal topic. It's that simple. Emotional appeal, logical appeal. Emotional appeal, logical appeal. Split the thumbnail in half and have this side, your emotion, being directed towards the logic. That's the way you make a successful thumbnail. Isn't that crazy? That is what successful thumbnails look like. So that is a tactical piece of advice for you. So here is a question, but wait, there's more. Here's a question that so many creators have. And this is something that Mark Spurl asked me, and this is something that's very relevant to vloggers and people that make content that is edited and harder to produce. Awall, what is the impact on multiple videos per week versus 1 video per week algorithmically? Are you gonna kill your channel by not uploading daily? Are you gonna kill your channel by only uploading 3 times versus 5 times, etc.? And this is a 2-part question. Here's the second part. Does the algorithm care if you post on different days of the week? Are any of you guys wondering the answer to this question? Because I know the correct answer. So the correct answer is this. Posting videos once a week versus multiple times a week is less relevant today than it ever was in the past. So the way that the algorithm worked in 2017 is like this. Let me draw a little diagram. Here's the way the YouTube algorithm worked then. You wanted to, and this is like, let's draw little letters up top here to represent all of the days of the week. Okay, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday. Actually, let's just do columns. Here's how we're gonna do it. This is how the algorithm works. This is the correct answer to how many days per week you should be posting videos. So all of these are the days of the week. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are all of your days of the week, okay? So the algorithm, we're gonna put 2017 over here. So this is 2017, and then down here will be 2018, okay? And here's how the algorithm works. Are you ready? This may be some of the most valuable information you get for your channel. And these are all the days of the week, right? And we're gonna draw the days of the week at the top. This is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, this is Thursday, this is Friday, this is Saturday, and this is Sunday, all right? You guys on the same page with me? Here's what you should do when it comes to releasing your content and how you should think about it. In 2017, the algorithm used to reward stimulating new sessions on YouTube more often. And so this was kind of the golden age of going live on YouTube and releasing multiple pieces of content per day on YouTube. So the more often you uploaded, I would say 2016 to 2017, this range, the more you uploaded on YouTube, the more you were rewarded during this period of time because new YouTube sessions were rewarded more. This is when enabling notifications became the big thing. Remember when ring the bell, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell became a trending thing on YouTube? That was 2016, 2017. That's when live started to become a thing on YouTube. So uploading a video this day, this day, this day, this day, this day, this day was a better strategy at that time than only uploading on Monday and Friday, because you would open new sessions, and the more new sessions you opened, the more the YouTube algorithm liked that, because that's more people coming to YouTube to watch more content to get more views. Now, over time, this has changed. So the correct strategy then was, let's say, uploading a video every day of the week. That would be the best way to go. Even if some of those videos were lower performers, that was okay, because uploading daily was still the best strategy, because opening new sessions was important. But now things are a bit different with the algorithm. Now you can have a successful strategy on YouTube and grow your YouTube channel only uploading maybe, say, 3 times per week. And here's why. The YouTube algorithm is rewarding content that has a high click-through rate and a high average view duration and audience retention, and it's pushing that content beyond the first 24 hours more so today than it ever was in the past. So back then, back in the day, your content would only get views like in that first 20, let me make this smaller, in that first 24. That was a huge golden window, the first 24 to 48, right? And so uploading a piece of content every single day meant that you were capitalizing on that golden period of time, the first 24 hours of that content, right? So obviously uploading daily means you get that golden period of time to get views on your content, to get the algorithm to latch onto your content constantly. 24 hours, 24. So every 24 hours, you're uploading a piece of content that's getting benefit from the algorithm liking your content for the first 24 hours it was uploaded. So daily uploads good in 2016, 2017. And don't get me wrong, daily uploads are still good. But today, you have a lot more flexibility in your upload frequency. So now content is getting a lot more views in the first 48 hours and even in the first 128 days. And so the YouTube algorithm is now going back and looking at historical content and analyzing its click-through rate and analyzing its average view duration and analyzing whether it should be suggesting that older content today. We've seen this be the case on channels that I manage, creators that I'm working with you guys, where we'll create a piece of content that we released a year ago, and it only got 10,000 views in the first 24 to 48 when we released it in 2016 and 2017. Then in 2018, it now has 1 million views. Let me say that again. Content we released in 2016 and 2017 today now has 1 million views. So the YouTube algorithm reassessed that content, that older inventory, and decided to push it today. So that means that today, if you only upload 3 videos per week, you can get those views in the first 48 hours. You can get those views in the first 128 days. So now that gives you a lot more flexibility, and that gives you, and really it incentivizes you to create content that maybe will last a bit longer, that's relevant for a longer period of time than just 24 hours. So to answer your question, Mark Spurl, should you do 1 video a week versus multiple videos per week? Right now, I would say the golden amount of videos to release probably isn't 1 video per week. I'd say 3 videos per week would be the minimum, I would say. The minimum recommended I would give. Whereas in 2016, I would have told you that daily content would have been my minimum recommended. Okay? Or at least 5 days a week content would be my minimum recommended. And so That's the first part of the question. The second part of the question is, are you guys enjoying this? Learning about the algorithm, about scheduling? And Emily the Ginger, this is for you because you're making vlogging content and you're gonna have to decide, can I only do one vlog per week? I would recommend you try to do 3 per week if you can. Certainly 1 per week is not as bad today as it used to be, but if you could get up to 3 per week, that would be huge. But the other part of the question is, does the algorithm care which day of the week you post on, and does it vary from day to day, from time to time? So let me answer that question. The quick answer to that is yes, it varies a lot. So the YouTube algorithm will vary the impact of your content based on which device people are watching it on. So this is a TV. It will vary based on the time of day that people are watching the content. And it'll even vary based on the length of your actual video itself. So this all has an impact on how much YouTube is going to be suggesting your content today. So whether a viewer is watching the content on their TV or their smartphone, or they're watching it on their desktop computer, that's what this is supposed to be down here, YouTube will suggest different content to different viewers based on what platform they're watching that content on. They'll also suggest different content to different viewers based on what time of day you upload that content. So let's say your first video is during breakfast time and your second video of the day potential upload is at dinner time or whatever. Let's say the B represents break time. So let's say you upload 3-minute videos and you upload it around noon. That actually might be a good strategy because around noon, for example, people are on lunch break or they're on bathroom break, where they may have an opportunity to watch a short piece of content during their break during the middle of their day from school or whatever. However, if you are uploading content that's like 30 minutes, 50 minutes, maybe a live stream, sometime around dinner time or nighttime may be the best time to release that type of content because viewers can't watch a live stream in the middle of their workday. They can't watch a live stream in the middle of school. They can't watch a live stream in the middle of their life, taking care of their kids, etc., but they can watch it at night. And so YouTube's algorithm will suggest your content differently based on the time of day you post. Also, YouTube's algorithm will suggest your content differently based on, like I said a moment ago, the length of your content in tandem with what device they're watching it on and what time of day it is. And so the other part of it is what day of the week is it is also a component here under time. So let's run through an example. So you have to think about your viewer deeply, okay? Hold on, squad track, chill, dude. You don't have to ask multiple times. So think about this deeply. If you are trying to target a certain audience, you need to be thinking about what device they will potentially be watching your content on. What day of the week would be the best day of the week for them to watch it on that device? What time of day are they going to be picking up their device to watch your content? And how much time do they have to watch your content on that day of the week with that particular device at that particular time? The algorithm takes all of these factors into account, and all of that matters. So Mark in this example, because you asked this question, you're asking, does this matter? So if you're creating a 3-minute tech video, when are people going to watch that content? They're probably going to watch, and if it's a piece of news content, they're probably going to want to watch that while they're on break at work or at school. They're probably going to pull out their phone and watch your video real quick while they're eating lunch or they're on the toilet, and then they're going to go back to their day. So you need to be releasing your content maybe during the work week, during lunch breaks, school breaks, what have you, and you need to be counting on them to be watching on mobile, and you need to be optimizing your thumbnails for mobile. That's how granular the YouTube algorithm is. That's how competitive YouTube is that all of those factors matter. Did that answer your question? I know it sounds complicated, but it's true. So for you, Emily the Ginger, this matters a lot because you're only going to be releasing a limited number of pieces of content per week, and you need to be thinking about those late millennials. When are late millennials going to be watching YouTube? Probably late millennials will be watching it at night after their work day, after they take care of the kids, and they probably aren't going to be busting out YouTube while they're at work, okay? Because they're older. They don't do that, all right? Beautiful. Is the YouTube algorithm in 2018 the same for doing live streams as videos? Yes, the algorithm works exactly the same for live streams versus videos, but live streams will be far less suggested after the first 24 hours than a normal video would. Okay? So that's one of the huge downsides of a live stream. Whereas videos, on the other hand, tend to have a much higher click-through rate and a much higher average audience retention. And so YouTube will suggest a video in the long run, in the 128-day plus range, way more often than it will suggest a live stream. So live streams benefit within the first 24 hours more than videos, and after the first 24 hours, videos benefit more than live streams in terms of being suggested in the algorithm. Emily the Ginger, I hope that this channel review was valuable for you. You can do it. You can overcome your insecurity. You can bring value to the internet. You can expand into Instagram and into podcasts, and you can be a success, and you can make enough money from your content to make a living here. You have natural talent. You have natural charisma, and you need to make content from your truth, which is that you are an insecure person. So talk about that insecurity, make that your content, and I'm telling you, so many people will be able to relate to that. I guarantee it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you to everybody that's supporting me on Patreon, including Emily. If you want me to do a legendary channel review for you, this is the best deal on the entire internet. For 25 bucks, you get me reviewing your channel. I normally charge over 100 bucks an hour for consulting, but for creators, I just want to make it affordable for you guys because I care. That's the bottom line. Cool? See you in the next stream. Keep making content, everybody. You're all incredible, and thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios, amigos. I had the pen tool, and I couldn't hit end stream. Awkward ending!